Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, May 25th races at Hastings Racecourse. We have 7 races. Drew, should be a good day.
Absolutely. The weather's turned. It looks like it's going to be a nice weekend. We have had some off tracks lately.
Yeah, training in the morning's been a little tricky.
It's been a little rough, but great day last Monday, the holiday Monday here, Victoria Day. Really strong card, and we're going to go to one of those races now, I believe. We're going to look at the
Filly Mare Stake?
Filly Mare Stake, won by Evelyn's Dancer. A good duel between Evelyn's Dancer and Overvalue. You'll see these two hook up probably most of the year. They're in the 5 and 6 post positions. Evelyn Dancer breaks out of the 5 here. And Aaron Greider kind of puts her out in the middle of the track to put the heat on Scott Williams to make a decision. Scott sits off of her, and they eventually come down the rail here, and Evelyn's Dancer is a lot to handle in this category.
No, she's going to be tough. She had you can see they're really, they were a little wide going, then they hugged the turn here, and Evelyn's Dancer has a length lead, and pretty much not much changes. Pretty comfortable opening fraction, 22 and 1. It was not slow, but not quick.
No pressure, really, right, out there by herself.
Castanet Dancer was taking a nice trip in behind them in third, and but pretty nice, comfortable fractions here for Evelyn's Dancer. She's a quality filly that, she was packing a bit of weight this day, but still overvalued. Makes a pretty good run at her, the far turn.
Yeah, she comes through here. They're kind of getting closer to order. Castanet Dancer ran a big race. So did Heidi Marie. She was more involved today than she was in her previous start. They start to take closer order, but Greider's really yet to ask Evelyn's Dancer. He's just kind of sitting on her. 45 and 3, she can do pretty comfortably, especially in the sprint.
Yeah, and the horse that I was really impressed with, Drew, was a 3-horse Castanet Dancer.
She
down on
did
the
run a big
inside.
race, yeah.
This filly's looking for room late, and things get tightened up here just inside the 16th pole. Evelyn's going to come out, and Overvalue's going to come down a little bit, but she was running well at the end of the race, and I think definitely maybe one to look for down the road as the distances go longer, and maybe the weight shift gets a little higher for Evelyn's Dancer if she's still in town. But congratulations to the North American Thoroughbred Company and Troy Taylor, Aaron Greider. Nice win with Evelyn's Dancer in last Monday's Filly Mare Stake. Let's get on to the Saturday card. First race, we got some $30,000 claimers for you here. Fillies and Mares going to go 6.5 furlongs. Maidens kicking off your early double. I've gone to the 6. I dig that for John Snow. Pretty good runner-up effort to Miss Derrick last time. Takes the slight drop from maiden allowance in for the maiden 30. Certainly not as tough a field. Not going to get the lead today with the 5-horse, very speedy Curie's Gal in the lineup, but I think she can sit just off of her and probably run her down. I just like the way she was running at the end of the race. She was pressured early. 17 and change was a good time, and she was a very comfortable second that day as well. I put Beck Stauffer in for second to the Troy Taylor barn. You must respect the connections. Good works. A daughter of Horace Greeley, and definitely want to look at her in the paddock and on Post Parade. She might be the live one in here. And the 5-horse, Curie's Gal, her speed. I think we'll put her in, obviously in good position, but it's to see if she can hang on or not. But I got her in for third. But I went 6, 4, and 5.
I have exactly the same way. As you mentioned, I dig that dropping down into the maiden 30 category. Looks to be the one to beat in here. Beck Stauffer, she looks like she can run a little. Has not run yet, so we'll see. And Curie's Gal I have in third. Curie's Gal is kind of the wild card in here. She had those wicked fractions last time, 44 flat. Yeah, was out in front by 12 down the backside, and obviously was a little bit too much to ask. If Fuentes can get her to rate today, she's definitely a horse that could steal it.
Yeah, she's got to rate a little bit better, or she's going to be in trouble. If she goes 44 again, she's going to get beat. But, if she can rate a little kinder and respect the bridle and take a hold, then certainly she could be a danger. But speed makes her dangerous.
On to the second, Fillies and Mares, maiden 5,000. I've gone to the 2-horse, the second-time starter here, Delta Daisy out of the Monica Russell barn. Only had that one run. It was a big field too, so lots of traffic, lots of. She got on the lead. Decent fractions, 22.46 for this kind of caliber, and just got caught late. Only got beat a length and a quarter. So with that race under her belt, I like Delta Daisy here. Got a good number for it too. The 45 buyer looks good in here. On the second spot, I went to the 6 Forever Me out of the Melanie Walters barn. Melanie having a very strong meet. Another one that ran third, just got beat for second. Running that Closing Intentions race where Closing Intentions just ran off and hid from him. I don't see anybody that tough in here, so Forever Me could be dangerous with Amadeo Perez in the irons. And in the third spot, I put the 8 Teapot Hill. Another one coming out of that Closing Intentions race, but lost all chance, was declared a non-starter because the assistant starter
Still had the
was
horse.
standing in front of the horse when they
Broke with the horse. They broke together
They did break
simultaneously.
together. Yes, they worked together out of the gate. It's still only going to be 8 lengths, and she's a filly that wants to be up in part of the race, and obviously lost all chance there, which is why she was a refund. I went 2, 6, and 8 in the second.
Yeah, I agree with the 2 Delta Daisy. I think she's going to be tough. I really wanted to try and beat her, but I just don't see anyone going with her. I think she gets an easy lead again, and she did lose to Spirit Wandering and next out winner Princess Sparkle. So definitely the race was enhanced with Princess Sparkle winning back next time out. So she's live. Good comeback work. Yeah, short price here though. The 4-horse Cheeky Cheetah might be the wild card. Just the one run last year against some decent maidens. The time was pretty good, and I thought she ran on well. She was given the rest of the year off. Obviously, something I want to miss after that race, but her works are good coming back. Richard Hamill rides. That's always a good thing. And the 6 Forever Me goes without the blinkers after her distant 3rd place run, after going quite wide throughout after a tardy beginning. So I give her another shot. I went 2, 4, and 6. On to the 3rd race, some $25,000 3-year-olds going 6.5, and I'm going to land on the favorite. I think the 1 horse after the conflict went with Tiggertown through 22 and 2, 45 and 2 fractions, and then was impeded at the 16th pole, got moved up to 3rd via disqualification, but still, I thought ran a really good race and a couple of good comeback works. Richard Hamill could have rode a couple other horses in here. He chooses this one, which is the right pick. This is definitely your horse to beat. I went to the 6 Weather Bill for 2nd for Anita Bolton. Ran against a very surprising winner in Ruby's Victory. Kind of caught me off guard there, but stole it, ran
Caught a
second.
few people off guard.
Yeah,
Paid so well.
that horse was in trouble and just running over horses and won easy. But Weather Bill, I thought for his first race on a regular dirt track, as the horse had been running on the synthetic tracks at Woodbine, but I thought it was a good effort with Scott aboard. And I put the 5 horse Prohibiting, our man the Moj, our good buddy on the Team 1040. Give him big props for this one. Hopefully this one can improve off of his first run, because he needs to be better than what he was last. I went 1, 6, and 5.
I have the same horses. I flip-flopped the top 2. I thought Weather Bill was quite impressive last time. I don't think even he liked the slop, and he went pretty quick, 22, 45. I just don't think that the slop was for him.
Right.
I see him getting a drier track today, and with Scott Williams aboard, he could be gone. I have your horse after the conflict in the 2nd spot. He's obviously going to be a handful in here. Yeah. He looks to be tough. Tiggertown came back and absolutely crushed an allowance field in Edmonton. So he looks good in here. And I agree on Moj's horse, Prohibiting in the 3rd spot. He was in that same race, that Tiggertown race. I think he's the horse that's probably going to want to go longer. He's a big lumbering kind of guy, but there will be some speed in here, so he could be making some noise late with Aaron Grider aboard. I got 6, 1, and 5. Just flip-flop your top 2. On to the 4th, Maiden, 5,000 for fillies and mares, and I've gone to the 2 Majestic Woman. A 28-time maiden.
She's all yours.
She is due. It comes out of that same closing intentions race. This race split.
Second half of the split. Race number 2 and race number 4.
Race number 3. Forever Me ended up in the other one, the filly that she just beat for 2nd last time. But 2 seconds her last 2 starts. It took her a while to kind of get going last year. This year she has the 2nd right out of the hop, so I'll put Majestic Woman on top. The 2nd spot I put Richly Romantic. A bit of a wild card out of the Cindy Krasner barn. Ran the once last year for Maiden 20. In a race that Knightsbridge was in, got beat 12 lengths, shows up here for the bottoms with the always dangerous Robert Skelly aboard. And in the 3rd spot I put Power Skater, another one of the Melanie Walters barn. Been fairly competitive at this this level. Comes out of that same Spirit Wandering Princess Sparkle race. You can see most of these horses are coming out of those 2 races. Yeah. The Closing Intentions race, the Princess Sparkle race. She comes out of that race, Amadeo Perez and Melanie Walters. I got them in 3rd, 2, 1, and 4 for me. I stayed down near the rail in this race.
Yeah, I got the same 3 horses. I just got them a little flip-flopped around a little. I went to the 4 Power Skater. I'm going to hope this horse can stay a little closer to the pace. This horse was away poorly last time and got sitting last against slow fractions and really had no chance. Ran on to be 4th. Hopefully Amadeo can get this daughter of Suave out of the gate a little bit better and get her into a decent position, because this is a pretty soft. This is definitely the weaker half of the split.
Yeah, it did come up.
And Power Skater's got a good opportunity here. I put Majestic Woman in for 2nd. She'll break through one of these days. As you mentioned, 28 starts. She's got 9 seconds, 8 thirds. I mean, she's been on a nice little money
knocking
maker.
on the door. Yes,
won pretty good money for a horse who's never won a race. And I agree with the 1, Richly Romantic. This is the like the wild card horse that could win the race very
Yeah.
easily. The works are very good for a good outfit. Debuts on the Lasix program this year, and might be the speed. This horse only ran 3.5 furlongs last year and was 4 wide the whole race, so really tough to gauge what kind of horse she is. So give her a shot. Definitely is in the top spot. Only needs to run around there and probably 120 and change, and you'll win the money. But Richie Romantic might be able to do that. I went 4, 2, and 1. On to the 5th race, Maiden 5 Granders. This is for Colts and Geldings, going 6.5. And I picked the 11, A Devil's Cause, way on the outside last time he was in, but he was scratched. But I'm going to try again on the big class drop. It does have a work since being scratched in 48 and change, which is good. And I'm going to try that. This is a pretty soft maiden 5. I got to think if this horse repeats either of his last 2 races, he's going to win. He doesn't even need a top performance. So I'm going to go with the 11. I put the 7, Romp On, in for second. This horse showed good speed in a couple of his runs last year. 21 and 4, 45 and 4 before succumbing to Shingen Bolt. But I thought those first 2 races were better than they looked on paper, so I'm going to give him a shot at a nice price. The works are very good as well for trainer Robbie Anderson. And the 8, General Question on the class drop from maiden 10 down for 5. This horse wasn't disgraced against Michael's Glory, who's in for 25,000 earlier in the card, and I think this horse deserves a look. Gets some weight off too with an apprentice aboard. So I went 11, 7, and 8. I really like the 11. I think they are pretty live in here.
I'm with you. I got the 11 too, taking the big drop for the Monica Russell barn. On the 2nd spot, I put Ottoman, Richard Hamel's mountain here. Disappointed as a chalk last time. Led the whole way. Kind of got swamped late. Still ran 5th. Only got beat a length though. He was less than 2 to 1. I'll give him another try. I put him in 2nd. And the 3rd spot, General Question, out of the Cindy Crafter barn, as you mentioned, with newcomer to Hastings, apprentice Freddie Manrique. Gets a little weight break down to 117, so he's logical in here too. I got 11, 10, and 8. Last race I was all on the inside.
Fence. No, you're on the outside.
Now I went all the outside. On to the 6, 3-year-olds and up. Claiming 15,000. Our feature today. This is a nice race too of older runners for 15,000. I've gone to the outside. Rockin' Cherokee, the Troy Taylor trained horse in here. Absolutely crushed a field of conditional 17.5 claimers. Then went up to the 25, which was a very tough race, and ran a good 3rd behind Stormy Canuck and Gambe. 2 pretty classy animals. I don't see anybody necessarily that tough in here. I got him on top. The 2nd spot, I put Cabo Chico, a horse that ran, for horses run almost 40 times. This will be his 40th start. Ran kind of green here his first time on the bull ring at Hastings. Kind of got lost around the turn, started backing out of it, rallied, ran on for a second. They've given some time. They had him in for 25. They scratched. They put him back in for 15. And he looks very live in here. I have him in the 2nd spot. And the 3rd spot, I put McKinley Square, another one coming out of the 25, that Stormy Canuck 25. He drops down for 15. Dino Condolinos is having a very good year. I have him in for 3rd spot. I got 8, 1, and 3.
Yeah, I went to the 1, Cabo Chico in here. I agree. The horse ran kind of an odd race. It had the lead, had a comfortable fraction. It looked like he was dropping back to run 4th or 5th. And all of a sudden, this horse re-rallied. And it's almost like this horse may have, I don't know, it had blinkers, and maybe the holes were closed, and they might be opened up today, because once that horse saw a horse go by, this horse was game all the way down the lane, was coming back on Seminole Brave. I know Seminole Brave's just a horse, but I mean, not a super horse, but still the horse was coming back on him, which I thought was encouraging. So I'm going to try Cabo Chico. Maybe they cut the blinkers back or something, or just something to help him see competition coming, because there was more horse in the tank.
Yeah, there was.
And so I'm going to go Cabo Chico over the 8, Rockin' Cherokee. He should get a good pace scenario here with a lasting piece in it in the lineup. If he stays in the race, and should be some lively fractions. That'll help Rockin' Cherokee. Yeah. And I put the 4, Seminole Brave, is a classy dude, in for 3rd. I went 1, 8, and 4. On to the 7th and final race. Got some $7,500 old horses going mile 16th, pardon me. And I've landed on the 5, Texas Buccaneer. I see a pretty good pace in here. I see True Grit going, Sufi Dancer, the outside horses, Super Steve, and Passion Red. There should be a lively pace in here. I think Texas Buccaneer gets some better fractions to run at than he did last time, albeit he was in for 15 Gs last time against France's Finest and Call Me Later. A lot easier assignment for him. He's got the route race under his belt. I like Texas Buccaneer. Stamp of approval has done nothing wrong for Taylor Anderson. He's perfect 2 for 2. But will stretch out to a mile and 16th. He does drop in class, but the price won't be great. We'll see how he fares today. And I put the 3 horse Ishkar on the stretch out in for 3rd. He was a decent show horse behind Stamp of Approval last time, and I maybe want him to run in to complete the triactor. But I do like Texas Buccaneer. I see a lively pace that helps him out.
I have the same horses. I put Stamp of Approval on top. A horse you mentioned.
Oh, it's the horse that figures.
Yeah, since being claimed for Robertino Diodoro, they've run him 8 times. He's won 5. Tough to complain about that. And I like his kind of style that if, I do agree there's going to be some pace in here. If for some reason they're not, he can take the lead or he can sit back just off it. He's a nice, so Richard's going to be able to put him kind of where he wants him, and he's probably going to make his patented nice run down the lane. So I have him on top. Iskar, who you just mentioned, Dino's horse in here. Decent third behind him in the 15. He drops down here with him. I have him in second. And Texas Buccaneer, I do like the angle that he's had start going long already. That could be a big advantage to Texas Buccaneer. I got 4, 3, and 5. And that'll do it for our Saturday card. Coming up next, we will do our rundown.
Quick recap of our selections for the Saturday card. Here we go. Here's my picks for Saturday. Back in race number 1, I went to the 6. I dig that. 6, 5, and 4. Race number 2, I went to the 2. Delta Daisy, 2, 4, 6. All the even numbers in the second. In the third race, went to the 1. After the conflict, 1, 6, 5. And race number 4, the 4, Power Skater, 4, 2, and 1. And race number 5, way to the outside of the 11, A Devil's Cause, 11, 7, 8. Race number 6, our feature, the 1, the Speedy Cabo Chico. Going to hope he can go wire to wire, 1, 8, and 4. And the 7th and final, number 5, Texas Buccaneer, 5, 4, and 3.
And on to my picks. There we go. On the first, I agree with Mike on number 6. I dig that over the 4 and the 5. In the second, I agree with Mike on the double here, actually. I went to the 2, Delta Daisy, over the 6 and the 8. In the third, I went to the Speedy number 6, Weather Bill, over 1 and 5. In the fourth, I went to the 2, Majestic Woman, over the 1 and the 4. In the fifth, I'm way out to the outside on number 11, Devil's Cause, over the 10 and the 8. In the sixth, I went to the 8, Rockin' Cherokee, over the 1 and the 3. And in the nightcap, 7th race, I went to number 4, Stamp of Approval, over the 3 and the 5.
Well, that concludes this edition of Handicappers Corner. We hope we've enlightened you a bit, and hopefully you can make some winning wagers on the Saturday, May 25th races at Hastings. We look forward to seeing you again. On behalf of Drew, I've been Mike. Once again, thanks for tuning in to Handicappers Corner here from the Derby Bar and Grill, and we'll see you next time.
The weather's clear, can do. This guy says the horse can